Hey everybody, we're about to take another trip. An old school trip to Norway. Let's go. This essentially is the Norwegian answer to kind of like the sea ration or the MCI that you see Steve 1989 eat and enjoy so much. It is a Norwegian Armed Forces, and this is an armed combat portion, and it is a Type 63. Has a small contents list, the company that made it. It is still nice and sealed in all of plastic. Well, let's cut it out of there so we can explore and examine what is written in writing on the side. Let's grab our trusty Kershaw leak. I almost don't want to cut this thing open, but Christian, the gentleman that sent this to me, he sent me two. I kept one and I forwarded the other one to the Ration Museum, so I don't quite feel as horrible about slicing this up. Now, Christian, he provided a pretty comprehensive instruction sheet, diagram kind of thing. Also, I got in touch with the people at Compact. They are still around, even though they don't make these kind of rations anymore. But Eric was nice enough to give me some tips, since he used this same type of ration when he did his time with the Norwegian service 40 years ago. So thanks, Eric. Thank you, Christian. And of course, also would like to thank my buddy, the Magnus, for backing me up and helping me out with this ration. Now again, like we said, it gives you a small description, which you're going to be pretty much screwed. You're not going to be able to read this unless if you're from Scandinavia. But it also gives you preferred menu items for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now the neat thing about this ration, if you can kind of see in there, it comes with its own stove for you to heat this thing up. Now, in addition to telling you what you should recommend for menu, it has this little block right here. And essentially what it's telling you is to chew the cake blocks or block cakes slowly and chew them well, and to have dextrose in between meals. Let's open this thing up, man. Super, super psyched right off the bat. 1979. Now, this stuff is called RSP. It has an interesting history within the Norwegian forces. They essentially said that this was blown up military personnel canned so it could be reused for future soldiers. Kind of funny. Now, you're also going to be saying, what in the world? There is a can of fuel in here. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Here's some matches. Still good to go. They don't even smell. These are from Oslo. Have some napkins. Wow, this is so neat. We have whatever that is. It kind of looks like it might be a can opener. In fact, I think that's exactly what it is. Well, it might not be. And then we have this tin of stuff, and this is what your ration comes in. Okay, I've never opened up one of these before, so it's not, though. It's actually going to take a can opener to open this up. It's all sealed. Okay, I think I got this figured out. I think this pretty much works just like this. You put it right on that lip and you just go to town. And I'm hoping I'm not tearing up the stuff on the inside. Oh, wow, this thing works awesome. I mean, it makes large cuts into this. Instead of like a P38, it just takes just little itty bitty bites. Well, I'm going to speed this up, and we'll show you what's inside of here when I get this thing open. Obviously, I have pierced something in here because I can really smell some chocolate. Now, one thing that they advise me to do is not cut it all the way, so I have a lid, essentially, to help me cook. But let's take a look inside. Right off the bat, we have 2 coffees. This, if I can get it out of here. Dude, this is so neat. But just trying to get stuff out of here is kind of a challenge. It's been in here so long, it does not want to come out. It doesn't want to be liberated. It's almost stuck in here. Now, this is some soup. They call it a soup block. And this is the chocolate block. Looks like it is a chocolate drink. This looks like 4 sugars, probably 2 cubes in each one of these packets. Now this is biscuits, and these are designed to be divided over the period of the whole day. So you would have a couple for breakfast, a couple for lunch, and a few for dinner. And you can see that I pierced the edges when I was cutting this open. Now we have what are called cake blocks, and I believe one of these is a chocolate block. And there are several of these. So we have 3 cake blocks. I guess this is the chocolate. It is inside of like kind of like a wax paper kind of thing. Packet of salt, and then of course your high-speed eating utensil. I tell you, this would be right up Steve's alley. This thing, woo, man, it's got an odor. I think a lot of it is from this. Okay, let's talk about this cooker for a minute. I think it's really ingenious that it comes with one. However, it does require multiple steps. And as far as breakfast and lunch, it's not really required unless if you're going to make yourself a cup of coffee. The stove is really for heating up water for your soup, and if need be, you could heat up your RSP. Now the neat thing about it is you remove this from the bottom of the box, and I guess this is just to be some protection down at the bottom. It's not tissues, it's not anything else. It's just kind of like a thick kind of a cardboard kind of thing. And it says to straighten these out. And then you set it right back in the bottom of the box. Like that. So that way you have enough room for your fuel. And when it comes time for you to use this, you take these tabs and it sets right on there so you can heat up your ration. And all of that is provided right here on the side of this ration container. Well, we might as well see if this fuel has survived. If it has, I guess we can try it out. I would say it looks like this can be a success. Okay, I've kind of got some misgivings about drinking my water out of here because this definitely has an odor coming out of it. I've even washed it to make it as sanitary as possible. So I think I'm going to use my kettle for my water. However, I will put a little water in here and then stick this inside to help use it as a water boiler. Well, let's crack out our RSP and take a look at it. Okay, got the can open. Yeah, doesn't that look appetizing? Well, we'll heat it up. We don't know if we're going to try it. Because like I said, the goal is not to get hurt or get botulism or anything like that. These reviews are just strictly for curiosity and entertainment, not to die from. I would use this stove outside, but seeing how we've got wind gusts of like 50 miles an hour outside, we'll just do this right here. Gonna throw down some cardboard so I don't mar up my tabletop. Put the stove here. And you really shouldn't use these inside, and as a safety precaution, I've even got a fan going on, so hopefully that will be enough to help keep the fumes off and away from me. Just so you can check out this neat matchbook. It's pretty wild, pretty interesting. See if this even cooks off. Cooked off right off the bat. That is very good to know. Plop that in there. That's not the safest way to do it, but hey, it works, especially when you have to reach down into a cavity that's that big. I like to grab our little pot container, put a little bit of water in here, and then the ration will seal that up and let it heat up. With the help of our trusty rock or something, we used it to help keep more of that heat inside of this container, and we can see that that is nicely heated up and all that preservative has melted. Now the issue with this thing is this stove part gets super hot. Imagine that if you heat up metal or tin. The best way that I have found to do this is to remove the whole entire stove. Yes, you do get a little flashback on it, and then you just simply take the lid and slide it over, and it turns out your stove. Okay, now we got 2 coffees, but see, now we're just going to do this in one fell swoop. We'll crack open our Nescafe instant coffee, and we're going to check this for dry mold first. I'm not expecting any since it was sealed so well, and I don't see any in there, which is outstanding. And this is definitely a fine coffee powder. And then it says to add one of these packets of your sugar, and there are 2 little sugar cubes in here. And they still look, see, that's the company that produced it, and they still look and smell perfect. Man, having issues with the kettle. And we'll give that a stir. Now for the soup, it says to fill this thing up 2/3 full of water, and that is enough to make the soup. And this chocolate drink, it says fill it up 3/4 of the way, and that will be enough water to make the chocolate drink. And by doing some semi-pseudo calculations, by filling this up with 2/3 of water, it's about 250 ml, and 3/4 is about 450 ml, right around there. We'll start off with the soup. And literally it says soup block, and they are not joking. It is a large, giant, compressed bouillon cube, essentially. It smells alright. Just break this down just a little bit. to help this water absorb into there. There's the first bit of it. And like we said, that's about 450 mil. And I got the measurements on this the soup and the chocolate drink backwards. So I'm going to have some real soupy soup. And this one calls for about the 450 mil of hot water. Go figure. This has kind of a wicked, reeky kind of smell to it. And again, this is a great big huge block. Doesn't want to come apart or crush or break or any of that. Just trying to get it all inside the coffee or the canteen cup. This one we're going to break up a lot more than the last one, because the last one took a long time to kind of absorb everything. Well, here's the first bit. Here's the first 250 mil. Man, that's a little toasty. And the last bit. Now we'll give that a stir. Okay, the tray is down. We got our little wooden spoon, eating tool, our napkins, our coffee. And then, of course, we have our RSP. It's still pretty hot. And we'll dump this out right on here so you can take a nice look at it. That's everything that's out of that container. I just wanted to do this before it started cooling down, and it's very soft, very processed. And I was looking on here to see how heavy this was, and there was nothing on the container. And I'm looking on here too, I didn't see anything as well. However, the entire contents of the ration adds up to 2,385 calories, which I don't think is probably enough for an Arctic condition. So I imagine these guys probably did do some starving out in the sticks. And it says the RSP is 600 calories, but it doesn't exactly give the weight of the can. And I didn't weigh it, so had to do some repairs. I didn't realize this stuff had slopped into every single one of these sections in this tray. Okay, and along with this, again, we have another cup of coffee, pack of salt, and then we've got 3 more sugars. Okay, I slid my coffee over there. I'm going to put this soup on this side in place of my little napkins. I'm not going to use them anyway. They don't really serve a purpose. Now let's look at our cakes. You would get 2 of these cakes for breakfast, 2 for dinner, and of course 2 for lunch. Now the thing is, you would think that this is just 1 cake, but there's actually 2 of them inside of here. And I'm trying to do this where this cools down and it all starts to solidify like it is over there. And right off the bat, these are very reminiscent of what you would get like in a Datrex survival bar or something like that. Man, if this was my breakfast, I think I'd be kind of bummed out. So you get 1 package or 2 of these for each meal. And no wonder why they tell you to eat them slowly, because if this is your main source of nutrients for that meal, what else do we have? And then it says for breakfast you get 6 of these crackers, but they're like cookies actually. And these have a wicked odor coming off of them already. Yeah, these are roach. These are like really bleached out. So for those of you that love hearing my reaction and gagging sounds, man, you're probably going to be hearing some. So it looks like you get 10 of these cracker, cookie, crisps, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. Oh my God, the freaking smell coming off. Oh, yeah, not pleasant. And then the last thing you get, oh my Lord. Well, I was expecting to see chocolate. This is This is white. What the? Man. I'm kind of at a loss. Well, this last part is sugar. So I don't know. Maybe this does not have chocolate blocks, as it were. It says cake block cacao. Well, go figure. Alright, well, these do not have a real pleasant taste, whatever, or a smell, whatever they happen to be. But okay, well, let's do this. Let's get in here. Steve said this is what we do. Now, be mindful, if you get an old ration, you know, these are really designed, you know, to put like on a mantle or in a collection, something like that. They're not really meant to be eaten. So please, I do not recommend any of you out there try any rations that are out of date. So just keep that in mind. Use your own common sense. And see if I can give you a nice cross section of what the inside of these things look like. And it does, it kind of looks like corned beef a little bit. And I'm going to give this a try. For those of you that have had hash before, it does loosely kind of taste like that. It's very crumbly. It's bad. I mean, it's bad. I'm not going to be trying anymore. In fact, the aftertaste that is coming across that thing is so powerful, and then this grease kind of coats your tongue, and calling some cavalry. That was much needed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sample something else so I can try to get that taste. And this is very similar to like any survival bar that you can get out there from any of those companies. The Urban Prepper has done several challenges with these. It's incredibly soft. I was expecting like a crunch that you would like have to break your teeth off of, like with that Chinese hard compressed ration. Not a bad taste, a little vanilla-y kinda. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, not bad for being 38 years old. Now these Nemesis bars, these cookie things. What are they exactly called? They're keks. Alright, I'm just going to take a little sample of this. I don't know why I'm doing it, but that's not very pleasant at all. I'm going back through here to see if these are if one of these is different from the others. Yeah, they're all just cake blocks. That's all they are. Maybe this was the chocolate block. I don't know. Well, let's give our chocolate block that we turn into a drink a try. That's actually not too bad. That's survived the test of time. However, I don't know about this soup. Now, we did put a heck of a lot more water in here than we were supposed to, because I got the measurements backwards. And I'm assuming that when you have this for lunch, that you use a canteen cup, because I don't know how you would drink it or try it with a spoon. So I'm going to do this off camera, of course, but let me take a little sip of this. That's not too bad. And you can see it didn't constitute all the way. I've still got some little chunky bits in there, but it's like a little chickeny kind of flavor. That's not too bad. I'm assuming that these are the dextrose bars things that they were saying that you should be eating throughout the day when you're not having a meal. They do kind of have a funky smell to them. I think it is more from from this wax paper packaging now than anything else, or being packed in plastic. So, alright, I'll try one of these. I haven't had like a Kindle mint cake or anything like that, but maybe it's kind of something like that. I'm not sure. One of my buddies sent me some Kindle mint cakes, and unfortunately I went on vacation, and my dog Sherman, the MRE taster dog, decided that he wanted to sample it before I could have the opportunity. Sorry, mate. What else do we have? I think that's it. Outside of some more sugar cubes. Oh, I never did try the coffee. And this is just a standard Nescafe coffee with 2 sugars in it. That's no bueno. Yeah, you can have instant coffee and coffee extract, but good Lord. Norwegian forces, that you guys that served when you had this ration, man, my hat is off to you. Thank you very much to Christian for sending this to me so I could have the opportunity to try this bounty. And as far as I know, this is the only review of one of these on YouTube. I looked and looked everywhere, and the information on one of these is very, very rare online, which is why I actually contacted Compact that used to make these, and they didn't have a whole lot of information on them as well, as they have went into new production lines. It's been such an experience, and I've really enjoyed sharing it with you. Ollie, my friend, if you're out there, I'm still looking for a few more of the FR rations that replaced this wonderful ration. But this, my friends, this was a review of our Norwegian Forces SP63. Like I said, it's the only one that I have seen on YouTube, and information on these things is really hard to come by. So thank you again, Christian, for sending it to me, and I will see you all next time. Bye.